Now, my next guest knows all about military operations thanks to his training as a Royal Engineer Commando. But nothing could prepare him for the biggest battle to date, and that was bringing home his first child. Neil Sinclair describes the moment as by far the most daunting experience of his life, and he wished there was a basic how-to guide for new dads, like the basic battle skills manual that he received in the army. But he couldn't find one anywhere, so he decided to write one himself. Welcome, Neil. Lovely to see you. This is a very good idea as well. The book is called Commando Dad and is written entirely as a basic training manual.
Absolutely.
And you describe your unit as your wife and the children.
That's
You've
right.
got 3 children now. And you were heavily trained for combat, of course, as a Royal Engineer Commando. And then you come home with this small child for the first time. And how do you survive the first 24 hours?
A lot of crying and...
Yours?
Mine as well, yeah, absolutely, yeah, definitely. And my wife, we had no idea what to do. I mean, I did so much research when, leading up to the birth of my child, like the pregnancy and the childbirth. I could have delivered my own son. But then you get home, and my children were born in America, in New York, so we didn't have any grandparents to ask any questions. So I put my son down in his little car seat, looked over at my wife and said, "What do we do now?" And she went, "I have no idea." And neither did I, so we just, you know, we had no one to ask, so we just had to muddle through and try and do the best that we could do.
This is the experience of so many parents.
Yeah, absolutely, it is.
So, that first 24 hours, what did you learn?
Well, I learned that my son cried a lot, and at that point, I didn't realise. I thought he was making an evaluation of my parenting style and my skills, which was lacking, unfortunately. So we just had to muddle through, you know, and it was really, really difficult because we didn't have anyone to ask. So, you know, it was a lot of trial and error from day one, unfortunately.
As a soldier, you must be trained in sleep deprivation.
You know what? I am, but that level of sleep deprivation you can't train for. I mean, it's you know, because you've got no training to fall back on. So I didn't feel like I was doing a particularly good job during the day. And then trying to do the nighttime, the nocturnal missions, as I call them in my book, was extremely demanding as well. So, you know, it was relentless. It was really, really relentless, yeah, absolutely.
And it does terrible things to your mind and your memory and your capabilities, your faculties.
You've got, I mean, my confidence was, I mean, it was getting crushed by not knowing what to do. I mean, it was the first time in my life where I really felt that I had nothing to fall back on because you have no training. So after 6 weeks, though, I thought, right, OK, this is enough now. I need to start doing what I know I can do, which is start to bring military precision to my parenting, which is what I started to do. And then life started to get significantly better.
And where did you start with the military organisation?
Well,
feeding, sleeping, dressing?
Yeah, you know what? It was the feeding, and it was basically getting things organised.
A routine.
So a routine, yeah, getting that routine in place. So having a designated spot for all the equipment that you need, so bottles and nappies and wipes and all that. And it was on a little movable station that we could move around, and then it was getting the routines in place. So changing a nappy was done military precision. So I'd have everything laid out.
You have another name for nappy changing. Bomb disposal.
Ah, bomb disposal, yeah. Now, that's bomb disposal is getting rid of the nappy. OK. So, once the nappy changing is done, you get that bad boy out of there as soon as you can. That's bomb disposal. And then a howitzer is a particularly explosive contents of a nappy. So you know, double quick time, you want to get that one out of there.
Also, the one that goes up inside the vest and up to the back of their necks.
Absolutely, yeah. Up to their necks in it.
Yes,
yeah,
literally.
And they have been several times.
I've picked children up before and run them under the kitchen tap. That's been so bad.
In the sink, shower them down. Yeah, absolutely.
It's
all been done.
Good. And then you've got BTs and MTs.
Yes, BT is a baby trooper. So they basically, when you're changing them, they just they stay where they are. As soon as they can move and roll, they become a mobile trooper then, and your strategies need to change significantly because it's not very long before they'll start crawling and running. So there you go.
What's the strategy for an MT then?
An MT, well, you've just got to well, obviously, you know, your constant vigilance is, you know, you never take your eyes off them, but you need to be even more vigilant when they're an MT because, you know, say for instance, if you change, I always change my babies on the floor, but if for instance if you change them on a sofa, you can guarantee that when you lean over to get a set of wipes, the first time they'll actually become an MT is then, and they'll end up on the floor. So you need to be mindful of that.
Yes. Now, where is your wife in all of this? Have you also got her scrubbed up and polished and standing to attention somewhere?
No,
actually
not. No, she's too busy working. She's out working at the. Yeah,
you are now so good at this. You are full on Commando training.
I've been a stay-at-home dad for 10 years.
And
for 3 of those years, I was a childminder as well. So I had my own 3, and then 7 other children that I looked after during the day. Not all at the same time, but throughout the day, I'd have 10 children to look after. So
good heavens!
Yeah.
So you're registered and trained as a childminder?
Yeah, I'm a registered childminder. Yeah, my little unit was called Commando Kids.
The unit.
Yeah, my little unit.
I love all of that. So that first moment when you thought, I think I'm on top of this, I think I'm beating the enemy, was when?
I don't think I don't think I've ever had that thought, and I don't think I ever will have. I think the great thing about kids is they change and grow and develop so quickly, and I've been fortunate enough to be at home to see that, and that's a real privilege that I wouldn't change for the world.
Yes,
it's been great.
Yes, I agree with you there. Lovely. Well, we've got some headlines here. Did you see this one? This has been in the last day or two. The NHS have removed the word dad from pregnancy handbooks in case it offends same-sex couples. The booklet removed the word dad after a complaint. A review found a need to use more inclusive language. Do you object to that, or do you think that's all right?
I strongly object to that, actually, because, you know, well, Commando Partner wouldn't be a very good title for a book for a start. It's Commando Dad, and I'm proud of being a dad. And the thing is that what I think is that dads get sidelined a lot. And one of the things that I would really like to redress the balance and bring dads in from the sidelines. I was at the baby show in Birmingham, and the number of dads there that want to be included in the whole, they really do feel they get sidelined. And hopefully my book is going to say, you know what, guys, you can do a lot more than you're expected to do, and they want to, which is great. So, you know, taking the word dad out, I feel that I'm being discriminated against as a dad.
I think,
really.
Yes. Well, I'm just thinking about that, but dads being discriminated against because they're taken out of the equation so much. And I think maybe that's a mum thing that we should address, because we do the whole, oh, give in to me, I know what I'm doing, I know what he likes, which can only crush your confidence.
Yeah, but I think hopefully what my book's going to do is that because I know a lot of mums out there who are accessing this book because they're not too sure about what to do either.
Well, that's true.
And and hopefully, you know, if a dad gets this book, and hopefully it's going to be really, really helpful, the mum is going to be more confident to say, you know what, I know that you've got the skills that you need to take care of our new baby. Yeah. So they're going to be in more a position to, you know, to allow them to do that, which is what they should.
We have had 4 wonderful dads email us in this morning. Can you answer these really quickly?
Sure, yep.
Dave from Bristol. My partner's breastfeeding, but she's finding it very painful and hard going. Any way I can help?
You know what? The thing with that one is just as much support as you can, really. I mean, that's the key thing, because my wife had a problem with our first child, and just giving them as much support as you possibly can is the most important thing, and be there for them.
Going back to the midwife and making sure you're latching on properly.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, definitely.
George from Northampton, is it possible for men to get postnatal depression?
I don't know. I'm not too sure about that one. I mean, I know that they can. I think what I felt is that you have to deal with my wife. You know, when they've gone through all this pregnancy and childbirth and everything, and it is very, very emotional. And I think you need to make sure that you look after yourself and take care of yourself, so you can support the baby and the thing. So you know, you've got to be mindful of that, though. Yeah.
I would suggest a man could actually, because postnatal depression is simply depression after the birth. It's not something magical that's connected to having a baby. Yeah. So, and I think that huge emotional change could possibly bring on a little bit of
and then that's
imbalance.
Where support network of people will come in.
Yeah.
You know,
Rich from Gloucester, recently had a baby. I'm really struggling with the tiredness of the nights. I've always needed lots of sleep. Do you have any tips on how to cope when our baby is screaming at 3 in the morning?
You know what? The first thing is getting earplugs, because it takes up the volume and the pitch. You can cope with them a lot easier.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. Just put little yellow earplugs in, and it takes the volume and the pitch. Doesn't completely cut the volume out, but it takes the pitch down. And then power nap throughout the day. Yeah. You know, especially in the early days. If you can grab 20 minutes here and there, that really makes a significant difference.
Neil, very nice to meet you. Commando Dad basic training book is out right now. It's brilliant. After